everybody. You know what time it is. I know what time it is. That's right. It's time for Syntext Live. How you guys doing? I'm doing okay. And I just noticed somebody in the chat is doing absolutely awesome. And I want to start off by, we're going to pop a top, of course, as we get everything started up.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
And of course, to all you bad motherfuckers out there, I also want to raise a glass. I seen Douglas. He's in there. I'm going to have to work around the picture. I kind of wish you sent it to me a little early there, Doug. But everybody, if you haven't already, congratulations, Doug. He's a grandpa right now, if I'm reading this right. And everybody raise your glasses to the son being healthy, or the grandson being healthy and growing up as wise as possible. And as I'm hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. As I'm doing that, I noticed that we have our first, well, actually second super chat of the night, but I'll get into that in a second. What the hell? Sorry, guys. For some reason, my kidneys tried to move up my throat. All right. But I should say that's the first super chat. And it's from MTF Guard for $10. He says, send me this now before I forget. Hope you like some of the clips. I had a Hydro Thunder one for you, but it was too long. Oh, if I had a dime for every time I heard too long, I don't have about 20 cents. Okay. Oh, man. I don't know why I'm suddenly coughing, guys. I haven't coughed all day. All right. And also, it seems we have good news all around because...
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
What that is Doug sending in a $100 super chat. You guys are fucking awesome today because, Douglas, guess what? You're not the only one who's did that. You are definitely not. Actually, Prozac and Pancakes got one. And I'm just sitting here saying, Great Scott. Okay, that's a really short clip. Hopefully you guys got that. Doc Brown saying Great Scott. Let me write this down for you. And he says, I'm in a celebratory mood. And clearly you are. Seriously, guys, thank you. Appreciate it very, very much. But seriously, I'm about to just turn this around and say, take your kid out to lunch. But then again, his lunch is, well, kind of like my enjoyment here, a beverage. And when I actually go through some of the videos, I will jump in. I hope, Doug, you sent that to the Gmail account, and I will look it immediately up. Guys, if you're sending something, make sure you put your handle in the subject line. Okay, so I know who it comes from, because sometimes things get messed up. And what? What the fuck? We got another $10 super chat from Erica. She is so outrageous that she is here every single time, even though she is a bit outnumbered. And she says, thank you. And I'm not sure you know what that word means. I'm going to leave that one alone. All right. Sin just got blitzed by super chats. Dude, I'll take the blitzkrieg. I will seriously take the blitzkrieg on this one any day of the week. Ain't the first time I've dealt with a wave of crazy shit heading my way. Won't be the last. And before I go too far, let me see if I can actually... Sometimes I have issues on this, guys. I'm just going to open this really quick. Hopefully the stream doesn't friggin' die on me. And I'm going to go into Gmail, and I'm going to see if I can upload this. And it's downloading now. Okay. Okay, sorry. That hopefully the stream didn't just die. The whole thing. And I was going in. Yes, Douglas, I got it. It's going to take a minute for everything to cycle through because with this program, everything gets slowed down. So I do have to once again thank you, Douglas, Prozac, and Pancakes, MTF Guard, Erica. Thank you guys so much. Very much appreciated. And as you guys saw in the thumbnail, we're going to be breaking things down to the base limits. And or base levels, and we're going to go into later on, once we go through this week's videos, we'll go into something that's going to help you guys make your own stories, those of you who are still out there writing. And yes, Prozac and Pancakes, and yes, SS Demon, I have your stuff. I was reading through it today, and I didn't get the demon stuff yet. Unfortunately, it's been pretty busy. Wednesday is my busy day, or one of my busy days. And unfortunately, this past weekend, I had a lot of family shit to deal with. Fun. Anyways, yeah, Prozac and Pancakes sent another one, so you might have your name in there. And a couple times I had to stop reading. It's a good thing I wasn't trying to read it straight up into the microphone because I was laughing too hard at certain points. So, on that note, let me double check here, make sure we're good. We are good. And I want to start with the first one that came up this week, Fire in the Hole. Which hole were we talking about? Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. This one was actually recommended by somebody who I know still works in the office, and somebody still steals their food, even though they basically did the same thing. And I'm looking over. Holy shit, you guys are freaking coming in. It must be because it's payday. We got an SS Demon with a $20 super chat. And let me hold this really quick so it doesn't scroll any further. He says, I finally emailed you my AI story. I got it. And at the end, I made it up to you if you want to make it a prequel to the drone fleet. If not, I have left it so you could decide. Let me know if something needs to be changed or not before you post it. I'll let you. I'm probably going to adjust a little bit. I have not gone through it completely. I did see when I was printing out, you got that big bold letters that kind of stuck out in the printing process. I'm like, what the hell is this? And I saw that, adjust if needed section. It's actually like it's like 10 feet away from my arm right now, or at least my fingertips. So there's that. And I also sit there and I'm saying, what am I saying?
It's a trap.
No, it's not a trap. It's Steve. Steve's here. And he sent in a $50 super sticker. Just a super. How you doing, Doc? Hope you're doing good. And everybody else seems to be doing awesome. Thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you guys don't put yourselves in the poorhouse sending me stuff. I'm more concerned with you guys. That's the old NCO in me. I'm more about taking care of my own guys than saving my own ass. So, speaking of asses, after I once again thank everybody, Steve, Demon, Erica, Douglas, Guard, and Prozac and Pancakes. Appreciate you guys so much. I do. And let's jump back into Fire in the Hole. And yeah, you can, once you guys got to the end of Fire in the Hole, you know why I use that image right there. What that symbolizes. Honestly, I'm thinking maybe I should have inverted it so it's actually pointing down or back out somewhere. And in the comment section, a few folks said that they were cracking up, which, hey, as long as you guys enjoyed it, that's what I'm here for. I am here to make you guys, or get you guys to enjoy something, a little bit of escapism, and hopefully I can get something more in about 20 minutes. Hold on, I should say, but as you know, limits are limits and they are what they are. So let me get this lined up here. Shit. Okay. My computer's playing games with me. So let me get this lined up. So there wasn't much in the comments section, so I can easily take that one off and go into one that was made specifically so that Erica, and if Ava's listening, you guys can enjoy. I'm sure you've seen this happen. Xenos think with their, what do they think with? Sniper, I believe I got yours. Let's see. I didn't actually label them. Who sent me what? I got a whole bunch of War Thunder, and I believe Demon was the one who sent me the World of Warships. I got two War Thunders and 2, 4, 5 World of Warship ones that worked. So we'll be jumping into those in a minute. All right. So anyways, back to the other one. Now you notice that the Xenos think with something. I won't mention what they think of, but let's face it, guys, we were all teenagers once. and early 20s. So you know what they're thinking with. And I am amazed. I am still to this point amazed that nobody put in the comments death by snoo snoo. Come on, guys. I literally pitched that right down the center and nobody took a swing. I'm just because she did. She took that reptilian guy because of the long tail that's able to, lick up past his head. Think about it. That's why that one was made for the ladies. At least I tried to. Let me know, Erica, if you think that was actually pretty good or if you think I went too far. She kind of like, hey, I'm the hottest one here. I might as well start a bar fight. So, again, not a lot of comments except for the standard ha-has and stuff like that. But we always got one here. Always packing, as in the humans are always packing. I wondered if the title, you guys got to let me know if this title was too suggestive, because this one did not get the views I expected it to. I think a lot of people went past it because they thought it was going to be some sort of verbal hentai or some such crap. No, and I forget who it was. Somebody in the comment section bullseyed it. It doesn't mean what you think it means. It's like inconceivable. You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. I'm gonna write that down because I honestly conceivable. I need it for the soundboard. With all you, I mean, seriously, you get you with the super chats. I'm looking. I only put 2 more in here right now. I got, and I also got. It's a trap. I should have got inconceivable. Anyway, sorry. So hold on. I got to cut myself out of the weeds here. I'm back. All right. But you guys got to let me know. Again, if this was too much, again, I don't know. Maybe it was the time. I'm a little lost. So just critiques, guys. Critiques. That's one of the reasons I'm here. All right. Again, not a lot on that one, but there. Oh, hold on. I screwed up. I forgot to say, but I got a couple of you. I guarantee you're looking at the screen like, you jerk. Anyways, moving on to allow me to introduce you to, and yes, it's twice in the week I use the 3 dots at the end. As you guys know, that line is used at least 3 times, if not 4 times in that entire story. So that's why I use that as a title. And yeah, you guys said nobody likes bullies. That became the common trope there. Now, one of the key things is that orc-ish character wasn't quite a bully. He was just following his own culture. So was he being a bully, or did he just not understand what he was screwing with? The grand total of, fuck around, find out. But I guarantee you, as soon as he turned out,
it was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
And he did. And it's the last thing he did. And, let's see, those of us here who are brothers, that phone call shows up, somebody's picking on our little brother or little sister, we're there quick. And we're there, we're ready to throw down, we're ready to kill somebody. So that's where that all comes from. But again, not that much. I will say this, only one person got the I'm going to feed you your own heart reference. If you have not seen it, on the YouTube channel Death Battle, they did a Homelander versus Omni-Man. And I was hoping that landed. Let me know if it didn't land. Yeah. So it is what it is. The only other thing I got actually isn't one of these. I was actually surprised to see some of the older videos getting some love. Like Something Familiar and Galactic War Games season, I think it was 4 or 2. I forget exactly, but hold on, I said it. But in any case, I'm appreciating that. Now I will say this, I do have to say it. Doc, if you wanted something more in your area, if you have not gone into it, there's, if I remember correctly, I named it Angels or Angel Flight or something like that. It's right up your alley. And I actually took, well, you know what? I'm not going to ruin anything on that. You know, we don't do spoilers here, but it's right up there because you'll actually see these angels carry shotguns. And let's face it, if it was up to me, everybody in a uniform would carry a shotgun outside the wire. All right. Before we go to our first video of the night, I do have to say I was surprised to see some new names inside the comments. I just want to read these off because, hey, just remember, if you're listening, you guys are more than welcome to be here, chime in, and just be here for the live stream. I appreciate it. And I'm going to kill one of these. We got another Brian. I'm going to kill this, though. Macario. Okay. Then there's Green Dragon, Sally H, Lumber Luck, Mark Ferguson, and wow, this one's tough. Black Lornet exiting story Inda. I'm not even kidding. That's what it was. So on that, let's blow something up. All right. Thankfully, we got it back in time here. Let me get back into the comment section. Make sure I didn't miss anything quick. Okay. I know it's incredible. That's inconceivable that he could make that shot. I seriously got to get that on my soundboard. I mean, seriously, it'd probably be able to replace something like, oh, I don't know.
Game over, man. It's game over.
No, I'm going to keep that one. All right. All right, as it was stated in the thumbnail of this live stream, one of the things I wanted to come back to was actual story design. Since I got 2 stories that were dropped in this week, and yes, they will be coming out within the next week, preferably tomorrow. However, nothing's going to drop tonight, guys. I just flatly ran out of time. Pure and simple, ran out of time. And I'm not going to sit there. Somebody sends me something really funny. I'm not going to, treat it like crap. It barely needed any adjustment either. So the only thing is I have to do a couple voices while we're going over because
the soundboard doesn't do all of them.
It'd be nice if it did. Unfortunately,
this one doesn't work that well.
So anyways, story design. A lot of guys are sending me or looking into things like isekai. Now, we all know what isekai is. I don't really have to say too much, except the actual translation is in another world. That's isekai. Now, if you're going to write one of these, you have to remember what you're actually writing because they're not actually all in another world. It's actually something that people are they're so screwed up with. It's so messed up. It's crazy. Now, if you're summoned, like you actually show up in a summoning circle or something like that, or you meet God or an angel or something like that, then yes, you could say you were sent to another world. However, if your character is killed off and then magically just wakes up as a child, usually at childbirth or somewhere close to it, that person was not isekai'd. They may be in another world. However, they're either in heaven or purgatory. I know it's kind of, and yes, I know, Leonid, using a truck to crush somebody is typical. However, the original isekai, and I'm trying to remember the name of it, where the guy Rudius is his new given name, he actually meets the entity that sends him over. That is a true isekai. if he didn't meet anybody and he just awoke in that world, and now all the women like him, and he's got all this power, he makes a shit ton of money, and he's going to end up living lavishly, having a hot bath or a hot shower inside his house, which is almost not done with that level of technology. That right there, the dude died and went to heaven. Okay, that's it. The only time I see an isekai where I'm like, well, I can't stand this is what the hell was that? It's out right now. A lot of people like it. Eminescence of something or other, and there's no actual tension in that. There's no question if someone's going to actually have some issues, because the guy literally he's an immortal. He just reforms his body. He's like Starscream. He can't actually die. He just comes back as someone else. But there's no tension. And that's the major issue. So I bring this up because a lot of people want to do like a fantasy or a sci-fi, an amalgamation of them or whatever. Whichever one it is, you have to stay consistent. I was actually looking at one of the old isekais where I'm like, okay, this guy died and went to heaven, and suddenly he got to the age of like 20 some odd years old, and then they meet God. I'm like, okay, someone's trying to cover their base, but they fucked up. And I'm just sitting there going,
congratulations, you played yourself.
It's just terrible. And honestly, I just stopped reading it. And this was a while ago too. I was like, what the hell am I looking at? So, I mean, it is what it is. Now, I'm going to leave those ones alone. Just remember, whatever you start with, you need to be sure that's where you are. And it's the little details that'll keep people interested. Okay. Unfortunately, when I'm doing these one-offs, I can't get into super duper deep detail. Hold on. Let me do this right. But I will be, or I do try to get in more detail when it's a longer one, just like something familiar. There's a lot of detail. And by the way, I don't know you guys realized, if you were not here last week, I did mention that a lot of people that the main character met in the beginning have returned. And it comes full circle, almost like swirling. It's crazy. Now, here's another one, and this is mainly for you fantasy writers out there. You have to decide how you're going to handle this. However, whichever way you handle it, it only has to be that one way. It can't switch, because there are subspecies of an entire. There's the species. There's the subspecies. Now, you could look at us and say every different race is a subspecies. Okay, there's no actual species. Everything's a subspecies. When you look at that as far as fantasy creatures, understand there's gremlins are a subspecies of a certain type of creature. Then you get a little bigger, there's goblins, and then there's orcs, then ogres, all the way up to trolls. Okay, that's 5 different levels. Now, whichever way you want to do it, you can either have everybody start off as a gremlin and they evolve over time, or these are just genuinely different species. Now, I know there's more than just those 5 in that area as far as green skin, ugly, and usually very, we'll say, hands-on type of creatures there. But you have to just make sure, are you going to evolve them or are they separate species? And you cannot mix and match. If you begin to mix and match, everything gets mucky and then it sounds like shit. All right. Same thing with different elves. And I'm just, wow. Okay. You know what? I need to take a small side. Oh, damn it. Wrong thing. I'm going to take a small side break, and I'm going to throw on a little bit of World of Warships. Now, you guys let me know if the sound comes through, because when these were sent, if the sound doesn't go through, I'm going to have to actually pull these clips later and in my editing software and raise it. But just let me know.
Brace for impact. Torpedo to port. Brace for impact.
Okay, that sounded really low on my end. You guys got to let me know. All right.
What the fuck?
Hey, Chris is here, and he's with a $10 super chat. Although he didn't have to, because yes, I got yours earlier. And you know you're good for the whole month, right? And by the way, Doug, you're good for the whole month too. You know that, right? You don't have, I mean, I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong, but you don't have to. But still, you guys are awesome. And let me just write it or say what it is with a super chat. He says, in the story, Aaron keeps getting called A. Aaron, like in the Kyle and Peel skit. Hopefully my idea is different enough on Isekai to be fun for everybody. I think it's going to be original take on it. You weren't here earlier. I was laughing. Seriously, I'm thinking of one or two spots now, and I'm not going to ruin anything. I'm trying my best not to ruin anything, but there's a couple. I actually tried to go and record them, and I couldn't stop snickering through the entire thing. And I'm trying to, get my voice to a certain octave. Kind of hard to do that when you keep cracking up. So again, not the whole thing's a freaking laugh riot. There's just one or two spots and just like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Oh man. So anyways, thank you very much, Chris. I will make sure that you're pushed towards the top of the call outs here. And yeah, it was very original, but again, everybody's gonna have to wait. So after that, I do have to bring this up, guys. Again, this is for fantasy folks. If you're gonna try and bring in an actual, not a night elf, but an actual dark elf the way they're supposed to be designed, good fucking luck getting an image, especially from any of the AI stuff that is now flooding the images right now. Because an actual dark elf has solid black skin. I mean, like, seriously, like my remote control black, okay? Not human black. Like, seriously, you know what I'm getting at. And it's annoying because you can't get what you need for the actual picture. And I'm just like, what the hell? Don't they know there's a difference? I mean, I can't use a night elf. Night elves are purple in their complexion. It's crazy. So just be aware of that if you're like me and you just use an image search. All right, before I completely change topics here, first things first, everybody get ready to say, "Oh, there's Thugs' grandchild right there." I think he says only a couple years old, a couple days old. And if I remember correctly, he put inside in the comment section that his mother didn't know he was carrying 2 loaded barrels when she opened the diaper. Oh shit. I'm sorry. I laugh because I've seen that happen. It's like, oh, did you fill your diaper? Bam! Right in the eyes. It's just but still. And again, congratulations, my friend. Congratulations. I unfortunately don't have any children. It'd be nice if I did, but I kind of made a deal with the man upstairs a while back, and that ain't gonna happen. So anyways, and we can get into that some other time. So anyways, let me run this back real fast and go into media. And we are going to, before I get on the more serious part of tonight, and then we'll go into the chat box, let's blow some more shit up. Sorry, I'm trying to load something real quick, and this system won't let me do two things at once. I need multiple screens, but whatever. All right. Let me get the comment section, and I'm going to throw the banner up just for the hell of it for the minute. You know, just make sure you guys are still subscribed. I've been having some serious issues on my end on that. So, I was looking into some of the supposed Chinese. They say they found a way to revert the age 30 years, and it's not within 30 years. It's like exactly 30 years. And I started to think about how a lot of these celebrities, if you take something like that and it's trying to revert you younger than what your actual peak age is when you stop growing, there's going to be some side effects, especially with the technology they're allowed to have. I guarantee all those bugs have been worked out already. But that makes you wonder about all these celebrities as suddenly they lose a whole bunch of weight that they didn't need to lose. Their fingers are like 4 inches too long and all this other crap. And I'm just sitting there like, what the hell is going on, man? So, you know, it makes you wonder on that. Now, here's the fun part. If they have that technology, then they are about this freaking close to releasing technology that would basically bring in essentially immortality. Now, we talked about that last week, and yes, given enough time, a random act of violence will end up taking you out. That's just the law of averages. It might take several thousand years, but it's going to happen. However, this was already touched on in Babylon 5, believe it or not. If you guys remember, I believe it was either the first or the second season, they ran into the last of the Dilgar, okay? Supposedly, they not only lost their war, but they got completely screwed up by like a giant solar flare or some such crap. Ended almost all of them. When they started talking to her about why she was still alive, she brought up a vial and said, you got to kill like 1,000 people to get this. I'm thinking, wait a minute. This is starting to sound like a lot of the stem cell research that we've been dealing with the CRISPR program. It's enough to just make you go, what? Or were they trying to tell us this 25, 30 freaking years ago that they already had this shit? I think so. I think that they leak a lot of stuff in media. You just have to figure out what the hell they're leaking. The problem is it's not out there in the open. And I personally believe a lot of sci-fi shows were used specifically to show what's going to be coming out. However, what might be coming out might mean you got to call these guys. And yeah, I don't know if I need Thor to actually get everything cleaned up. You know, that might be, that's a fire in the whole situation right there. If you need lightning to clear out your pipes, you're in trouble. And yes, that was sent in. I believe Erica sent that picture in. Now, anyways, as regards to that, I start to wonder about it. I do. I mean, I'd like to fix this meat suit. I got to go tomorrow to the VA to go get double checked up. I already had my blood drawn and everything like that. I saw the numbers and I'm starting to wonder if my kidneys are about to fail. So anyways, we'll see how that goes. And as far as the whole thing, if they offer you, hey, take this shot and you're going to get an extra 30 years like Doc Brown and Back to the Future Part 2, I'd be wary about it myself. Just because what they're going to give us is not all the technology. Just like solar panels, if done correctly, I could take a standard size panel and it's not just 100 watt. We're talking 2,000 or 3,000 watts of electricity you'll get on a sunny day and around 1,000 in the middle of the night because you're still getting reflection from the moon. The problem is the governments will not allow that to happen. You're getting the bare minimum of that technology, which makes it barely work, which thinks they're going to satiate everybody. No, they're going to piss everybody off. Now, I do have to say this. when that technology is finally released to the public, one of the major things you're going to see is a sudden shift in the way money is spent. There's going to be a big, giant question mark on who gets paid what for how long. In particular, if you take the shot or the treatment or whatever the hell it is, and suddenly you're your 21-year-old self again, how long is your pension going to be paying you out? How long is the retirement from even military going to pay you out? That's one of the biggest things that's going to change. There's going to be a lot of people fighting it for years and years and years, but they will eventually lose the fight. Even though I've said it before and I'll say it again, technology will put us all out of work eventually. It ain't there yet. Still, something to think about on that. Oh, speaking of that, before I jump into the chats, I do have to say, if you have not already, somebody made a completely CGI movie. I think it's called Robot Uprising or Resist or something like that. For something that was done almost completely on AI using a text prompt and a couple lines of dialogue, it's surprisingly good. I mean, you can still tell it's CGI. There's no question about that. It's just really, really good. I give it another couple of years and everything's going to be scary good. And let's shoot somebody. Yeah, I definitely got to take those into the editing software and work with them. All right, let me scroll up here, up to these unbelievably large super chats, guys. And I guess you guys are packing super chats tonight. Oh, come on. I had to do it. And let's see. Let's drop here right past Erica. Let's see. Those says, it's the one me and you have exchanged emails. Okay, it must be something we talked about. Oh, so something else. Okay. Chris saying he's out here driving. And of course, Erica saying, inconceivable. Yeah, again, I wrote it down. I got to get it. Something more than, it's a trap. You know. See, War Sniper says, could do better. I have a skin sickness. My gland is swelled. Wow. Swelled up, and it seems the sickness is shingles. It's a small part of chicken pox. I need to have 2 weeks of antibiotics to get it out of my system. Well, that's interesting because chicken pox is a virus. It's not, as far as I know, it's not bacterial. It's bacterial infection in the skin. Those are annoyingly bad. Treatable, or actually curable. Just make sure you do whatever the doc tells you and do not skip anything. And for the love of God, don't think, well, I feel better, I'll stop using it. No. You're going to end up with bigger problems. And Guard saying, well, the stream looks pretty alive to me. Yep. And of course, Guardian's sitting here with his, oh, hold on. Wrong button.
Greetings, mortals and other assorted beings.
And there's a Demon's AI story. So let's see. Guard says, damn, looks like I don't get the first or second place in Super Jets this week. No, and just so you guys know, whoever sends in first or the most gets the shout out first for the week. So, I mean, it is what it is on that one. Although I might make an exception considering somebody's situation, Douglas. Says, let's see, War Sniper says, I have it since yesterday. Don't worry. I'll just need to keep taking the antibiotics to get her done. Yeah, okay. Get her done. Lena's asking, is that a Foxy AI story? Well, not the one I was talking about. Let's see. Let's see. Guard says, "Yo, just read an article. Toys R Us is making a worldwide return." Well, they were like the end all be all. It's just they got caught up in a lot of shit and their Hail Mary pass failed miserably. Oh my God, did it fail miserably? They linked up with the sequels of Star Wars and everything just went to shit. Nobody showed up for that stuff. And they paid a lot of money for that garbage. Guard says, we're getting 10 motherfucking 10 official stores reopened. That's where original buildings owned by Toys R Us and 20 mini ones, which are like the size of a Dollar General. Why not? Everything's being kind of downsized and shrunk down. Main reason, most people don't travel to like malls and stuff anymore. When my niece comes to visit, I'm gonna actually take her to the mall to the one of those escape rooms, and I'm gonna see if she, she's only about 10, but we'll see if she can figure it out. Douglas talking about his daughter there. Yes, they are doing fine. Mama is, oh, there it is. Yeah, learning babies have 2 projectile weapons. I'm sorry, that is shit is funny. No pun intended. Oh, man. It makes me almost wish I had a fart noise on here. Do I have a fart noise on here? I do not. Closest I got is, yeah, that. Let's see. War Sniper says, "I'm the world of warships and War Thunder." Okay, there you go. I usually don't label them who sends them. I just label them if they work. Okay, Demon says, "I didn't get to part 2 of Drone Fleet yet, and it didn't go into extreme detail with the AI thing either. I plan giving more details on that if needed." Okay. Now the thing is, if I was going to actually continue with the drone fleet, you're talking, and somebody brought this up in the comment section, the amount of different territories, the amount of different species, the amount of territory, period, because that is quite vast. Would they eventually find out about the drone fleet? Yes. Have I personally worked out all the details? No, but Demon did. So, and why is, okay, for some reason my system's acting weird over here, but I'll figure it out later. It's not stopping anything, so it's all good. All right, so Erica says, "Thank you, and chicken noodle soup is great." Yeah. War Sniper is a vegetable soup with meat flavor and meat balls. Okay. Yeah, we actually had a spaghetti dinner where people actually brought in their own seasoning and made the meatballs for the spaghetti, and it's really good. Although now I'm fined 1 homo suspicion point for violation of the Man Code Morality statute because I said balls too much. Okay, Guardian says, "Slowly getting caught up. Just finished. Where did you get that?" Right before the live stream. Okay. I hope you enjoyed that one. I did have to save that and then go back and put the sound effects in it, because if I don't do that, for some reason, my editing software can be, well, schizophrenic. It's just messed up. Lena says, "Your character needs to die and get a little death by snoo snoo." Which character? Let's see. Erica's here says, "I didn't want to commit because if I did, YouTube would give me a 24-hour commit ban." Really? That's weird. Guard says, "Okay, I don't really feel that ashamed anymore, especially since this was 3 days ago and I wasted 45 of my snow nose revolver on a I wasted a 45 from my short nose or snub nose revolver on a spider. That must have been one hell of a spider for you to shoot the damn thing." And by the way, you guys know why it's always called a shot of whiskey or a shot of vodka? Because back in the day, the price of a 1 ounce of liquor was the same price as a bullet. So you could actually pay for your liquor with a bullet. Here, I'll have one shot. Here you go. So, it is what it is. It's kind of weird how our different stuff came up. I mean, come on, the word shit is a naval term for when they used to transport manure across to rich people's homes, which was actually dried excrement. But you couldn't have it in the bottom of the ship because it gets moist down there. No pun intended. And what happens when crap gets moist? It leaks methane. Do you want that when your lighting sources are lanterns? Of course not. So they would stamp it SHIT, ship high in transit. And since it was a bag of shit or bag of excrement, the name stuck. Okay, Guard says, okay, I'll keep in mind, here in Kentucky, we have 3 spiders that make me want to taste a shotgun girl. The wolf spider, the brown recluse, and the wood spider. All 3 of them get goddamn big. Yeah, when I worked at the Union Hall, we had cases come in from that area, and you would crack them open, and you would just see the brown recluse, just the little babies. They just crawl out everywhere. They get all on your hands, and they bite the shit out of you. I know they're poisonous, but when they're that small, there's not enough going in. And that's one of the reasons why if I was bit by an adult, it wouldn't do anything. My body still has the antibodies in it. The thing is, it's just like snake venom. It's got to work up from a low source. We had one poor guy. He actually went to the hospital, came back, and they had actually scraped off several levels of skin just because it had started a little bit of necrosis. And he was in some severe pain for a while because one of the larger ones bit him. Steve says, what the? Hold on. Hey, you will get that 50 because on my end, it's only showing chat and sticker. I don't get it. That's strange. Isn't it always just chat and sticker? I would think so. So once I turned everything on. I don't know why it's not showing anything else. Erica says, always packing was too sleepy to make a comment. I felt bad for the orc. Well, considering he was about to grab the female main character and force himself on her right there in the hallway, or force her on her knees to make her do something right there in the hallway, I figured nobody would feel bad for him. But then again, I mean, yeah, if he's just following his own rules, I mean, you almost feel bad for him. Then again, some people just deserve an ass whooping. And what he was about to do was a true ass whoopable offense. I say that a lot, especially watching Big Bang Theory. I look at Sheldon's like, oh, that's another ass whoopable offense, but no one's going to beat his ass. They should. Okay, Guard says, I'm talking hand, he's still talking spiders, like hand size huge, and they're fast as hell. And I have a crippling, arachnophobia. Okay, but not jumping spiders. I don't know if it's the too big eyes or that they're goofy creatures. Yeah. I've never been a fan of spiders. I mean, I've allowed some big ones that crawl down my arm and stuff like that, like at the zoo, just to try and see, it's perfectly fine. But inside, I'm literally screaming to the heavens. I am freaking the hell out. And this is from a guy who raises bees. It's something I grew up with. Everybody said you have to be afraid of spiders. He continues with, can't tell which one is because it's a bit dark, but when I was walking down the gravel driveway next to my house to get to the barn, one of them ran across my driveway in front of me. Then I kind of just stood there cursing myself out of the fact that I wasted a 45 on a fucking spider. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And the brother. Okay, Erica said she felt bad for the orc and the brother. Yeah, because they both got pulled into this shit for goofy reasons. I mean, hey, it is what it is. I mean, it's. I don't really do fairy tales. I do science fiction, and that's kind of what happens. I set up a scenario, and it just kind of flows out of me. You know, just like drinking too much coffee. Guards up here saying, "Oh yeah, I remember the Homelander versus Omni-Man video. Definitely something on me." Omni-Man would say, "Yeah." The kicker is, I've actually written something or a character that would make Omni-Man sit there and say, "Oh shit." It's the one I designed for the DC Comics. The dude's a telekinetic on an absolutely different level, but only when he gets completely and truly pissed off. And I actually wrote it where he I think it was Captain Atom went in there and tried to strong arm him, and the guy didn't even move. And you see Captain Atom go flying out the door and slamming into the wall, and he's like, "Yeah, don't go in there." Yeah. Steve saying M16A2 is my choice. Oh, you going full auto on us, huh? Me personally, I never liked the full auto on any of them. I love the 3-round burst though. Oh man. Oh, I want to get back to that. Whenever I'm going through doing moving on urban terrain, going through a building, you flip that thing on burst, blah, 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 blah. I mean, doesn't matter. You just got to get close, and you got 3 rounds in it. Believe me, they'll stay down at that point. And Guard says, yes, with under logic, make me want to slam my head into a post, and just how dumb this is. Yeah. But when you have a phobia, you don't think straight. So you know what? I'm not even going to say nothing. The thing is, phobia is overused in politics, and we all know that. Oh, you don't like somebody? You're phobic of them. I still remember being in a Cheesecake Factory, just trying to finish my lunch. Somebody called me phobic on something. I'm like, if I was, do you know what phobic means? A crippling fear. If I had that, I'd either go catatonic or I would have ran out that door screaming. Did I do either of those? No, shut up. Let me finish my meal. That particular person did not like logic. Let's see. Guard says, okay. So with War Thunder, there's an Italian tank destroyer called the M36B1, pretty much the turret of the M36 on a M4A3 hull. Okay. So basically it's the Mosquito. Or not Mosquito. God damn it. I just had a brain fart. They gave it a goofy name with that long barrel. He continues, in the model and on the actual vehicle itself, there's a whole mounted machine gun and a 50 caliber, and there's even a crew member to use said machine gun in the hull. But you can only use the 50. But you can only use the 50. Okay. Doug is saying you would not do well with Sri Lanka dinner plate spiders. Oh God, don't remind me of that. Oh, they just told me don't mess with it. I mean, yeah, it's slow. It's not really aggressive, but still, yeah. Ugh. I'm sorry, dude. I kind of wish you didn't mention those. Again, I don't have a crippling fear. It's just something I was brought up with. Just like my dad hates cats because his father said he hates cats all the time, and it just kind of dug into his psyche. It is what it is. Guardian says, I was assigned the M16A2 and the M249 saw. And unfortunately, I don't have the saw lined up. I only got the 50 on here. Depending on how I did on my weapons qualification, usually I was borderline expert with both weapon systems. We had one guy, he was the other saw gunner in my squad. I swear, right hand to fucking God on this one. This guy was so good with his saw, and it's a full automatic. He was constantly setting the paper on fire because he was able to get the tracers so condensed that he would set not only the paper on fire, once I can think of, he actually set the target on fire because the tracers were just rubbing up against the wood in that really tight pattern. I'm just like, dude, how the fuck do you do that? I mean, I'm good with it. I'm not that good. Anyways, going down here with Lena says, Truck-kun is traditional isekai summoning device. Yes, it is. If it's not a truck, it's a train. If it's not a train, it's a horse. If it's not a horse, then somebody, I don't know, maybe pushes somebody out of the way of a tractor and dies from stress while he pisses himself. You know, if you know the anime I'm talking about, yeah. Does all that. Let's see. Dose also says, look them up, Erica. They are stunning in their size. Yeah. They are just, you can actually feel them crawling up you. It's just, Okay, Gert says, Douglas, that almost sounds like you're asking me to show up with a shotgun. You just might. Erica said, I've seen them and those things make me sick. And I went, what? She's seen shit that'll turn you white. I bet you guys know the reference to that one. Douglas, yep, you can understand. There's Chris with his 10. And Garth says, for me, please, War Thunder, give me a good map. War Thunder, please. Big ass open field with no cover. Yeah, I know how you operate with that friggin' cannon. You're taking after a friggin' demon who just hates planes. Speaking of which, let me see if it's still on my media assets here. Yeah, I think this is it.
They're our base.
Got it. Oh, hell yeah. That was beautiful. Oh, I see him. Boom. 1 down.
And again.
2 down.
Enemy coordinates have been sent to
Enjoying your booster shots? Well, the idiots on our team unlocked the door and ran out of it.
Yeah.
And armored vehicle is down. When the fuck did they arm A?
B's the important one, in my opinion.
Well, like I said, the man hates planes. For some reason, he hates it. I'm wondering if the first time he played, some bomber basically took a shit on him and he blew up and didn't even realize. But the man hates planes. War Sniper here saying, that was my torpedo beat moment in clan battles. Actually, I thought, where is it? Oh, you know what? It didn't actually take. There's another one where you actually wiggled right through the torpedoes. I might have it. Is it this one? Nope, that's not it. How about this one?
Torpedoes starboard. Torpedoes starboard. Brace for impact. Good job.
Yeah, you missed it. Got missed by the torpedoes right as you guys were basically gangbanging another ship. Okay, where the hell was it? Okay. Yeah, the sound was low. I'm going to have to fix that. Something just popped up. Let me scroll down here real fast. And
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Something is right. We have a $10 super chat from our wonderful man on his wonderful bike. And by the way, Brian, I got your pictures. They came through. So next time you get your shout out, you're going to get one of the pictures you sent me. And I actually started condensing everything into one file. So I got all the motorcycle stuff, you know, Rambo, Terminator, Fonzie, all them, alongside the pictures you sent. He says, worked 11 of the last 14 days. I have 14 more days before a day off and a cold one. Well, I kind of wish this was more of a cold one, but yeah, dude, Good luck on that, because oh man, I've had those months before, and they suck. Of course, just be glad when you do yours, somebody's not trying to shoot you. And all I can say is one day at a time, man. You know how it is. I guarantee you know how it is. So anyway, let me scroll up here real quick to around where I was. I don't know where the hell I was. Oh, by the way, what the hell type of boat is that in those clips? I gotta know, because that looked very sci-fi-ish, so to speak. I mean, is when it pulled back, everything looked like it was designed from the guys who made the recent Star Trek movie. Let's see. Guard says, I can hear it now, but I'm getting some goddamn alien flashbacks from those beeps. Oh, you're talking about the clip. Okay. War Sniper says, my ship is a USS Vegiger skin from Star Trek. Maybe I'm saying that wrong. Is that supposed to be Voyager? I hang my head a little low that I actually used to watch that show. It was no. I try watching it now, and I cringe at everything I see. Demon's sitting here going, I always wanted a 249, but I don't have the 35,000 to buy one, and I'm sure they're more than 35K now. Well, that's 35K if you're talking about all the permits and everything you need to actually use one. You know what the most expensive part of that weapon system is? Shooting the damn thing. I mean, seriously, anywhere from 650 to 900 rounds a minute. Why do you think the bursts are literally die, motherfucker, die, die, motherfucker, die? 9 to 12 rounds every time, die, motherfucker, die. And yes, that's how you time it. That's 5 to 8 rounds on the 240 heavy or medium machine gun. All right, Demon says, I date a dark elf or a night elf. I'm sure you would, Demon. And back in the a few years back, they actually had some really good rendered CGI of actual no shit true dark elves. The problem is I couldn't use them as thumbnails. They drew them bare ass. I can't use that as a thumbnail. Ugh. I mean, yeah, you'd like to see all the butts that are out there, but then again, it's YouTube. So I got to watch out. Steve says, use Dris Durden for your Dris Durden. Okay, I'll look that up. Is that a male or female elf? You know what? I'll just look it up. Dris Durden. Okay. I'll look it up. The thing is, for those of you who aren't into fantasy and you look at elves, understand there's at least a dozen different type of elves. There's high elves, half elves, dark elves, night elves, blood elves, spirit elves, which are exceedingly rare. There's another one that you might as well just have as a freaking dryad, for crying out loud, as deep as they are into the trees. I mean, they just go on and on and on. Guard says, you can thank anime for ruining that by just simply making every dark elf a chocolate brown. I mean, yeah, it's hot, but it ruined the whole premise of the dark elves. Yep, it did. And there's Erica's response to a certain picture, as she says, oh, cute. Oh. Watch out, you stirred her maternal instincts. War Sniper saying he would date all the high elves. Yeah, I'm sure you would. And actually, in something familiar, stay tuned. You got an elf village that they got to get to. Remember, he's got to pass by a whole bunch of village before he gets to where he's going. So, stay tuned for that. You may or may not like what's going to happen. All right. Guard says, haha, keep it in mind that that was American T-92 I killed. So in short, that was pretty much a hydrogen bomb versus a coughing baby levels of destruction. So basically it was a tank destroyer, no armor. Got it. Let's see. Demons here says, I still cannot figure out why my clips have no audio when I email them. They have it before being sent, but after I send it, it's gone. It's driving me nuts. I don't know what to tell you. Are you sending via Gmail? Because that's what War Sniper sent these on. And again, I will go through and see if it's just that the volume is exceedingly low, like these ones are. And for next week, I'll have the volume fixed on all of them. Fair warning, what I'm going to end up doing is at the end of probably the month or something, I'm just going to compile all the video clips, do a little intro and go, if you remember, this is what we're going to get whenever we break between subjects or something like that. I'll write something out so it doesn't sound as that dumb. And then just literally have them back to back to back to back to back in order that you guys sent them. Demon says, I got some funny clips I want to share, but they need the audio. Like I said, I will double check. I will let you know if the audio is just low. I don't think so. I thought these ones here were completely and totally shot, but they're not. Okay, while that was going on, I was trying to bring up another picture somebody sent me what he was grilling, and oh, come on, you pain in the ass. All right, hopefully it'll work. There it goes. Yeah. Okay. I hate when this thing friggin' jumps. I hate that so much. And while it's jumping, you guys can get hungry by watching basically a different version of the gotcha steak. There was an anime where the guy didn't have any meat, but the customer wanted a meat dish. All he had was fat bacon. So he just basically made lumpy mashed potatoes with a little bit of herbs inside, like garlic and stuff, and wrapped it up in bacon so that as the bacon cooked, all the juices went inside the potatoes. And it counted as a meat dish. So yeah, I'll take bacon wrapped bacon. I'm good. All right. See, Alina says, the problem is that our world is ruled by very old people who are in their 90s. Yeah. And if they get the 30-year-old callback, they'll be in their 60s. Even if they can't go any farther than that, I don't think they would bitch all that much. Oh, no, wait. They're going to bitch anyway. Yeah. And if they say, well, if this isn't going to work for me, then I don't want anyone else to have it because I'm too full of myself. I'm starting to wonder what's going to happen when the last guy who's in charge of the entire friggin' Rothschild fortune actually gets in there. The guy's younger than me right now, so it's probably going to take a few more decades, but one could pray that this one would not have his head shoved straight up his fourth point of contact so much that his heart is beating on his own forehead. Let's see. Yeah, the Thor, you talking about this? Thor, God plumbing. Thor isn't the only thunder god. That's true. Zeus was one too. And they played on that during one of the Marvel movies. MTF Guard says, in short, they're just going to save us or give us watered down versions of what they probably had for years now. And there's going to be a hell load of side effects. Is that what you're saying? That is exactly what I'm fucking saying. I mean, come on, think of it this way. They most likely have the cure for cancer because they've been working on it for so goddamn long. And yet they insist on giving us chemotherapy, something that is going to need additional medications to fight the side effects. The only thing I know that truly fights the side effects, well, the surface side effects of chemotherapy, is ganja. And you just enjoy some of that, man. And you can actually get rid of the nausea and actually get an appetite so you don't end up turning into a bony stick. I mean, I personally can't be around that stuff because to me, it just absolutely reeks. I can't. I mean, seriously. I actually had dogs who, when they sniff that stuff, do the whole and they can't even get close. It's just crazy. But yeah, it's even if they give something without side effects, it's going to barely work. The kicker is when they finally release it, what's going to happen is there are going to be a lot of people saying, I can fix this. And they can, because it's called general intelligence. And there's always somebody who understands it better than the people who actually developed it. Now, unless they're going to be able to grab all of these people and either force them into silence or settle things the old Soviet way, then yeah. Let's see. Demon says, I think Cha'ach is also a god of thunder. I am not familiar with that one. War Sniper saying, World of Warships, cruiser versus battleship. Punish him in the nose. Yep, punch him in the nose. That's what you did. Now, here's the kicker. If you're actually playing one of those games, and this is for anybody, and you have a moving target, you either aim at the nose itself or slightly in front of it. Simply because nowadays, it's not like back in the day where you fire a shot and might as well be a laser because it's instant. There's a delay for that round to come in and actually strike the target. So if you want to hit the center of the target, you put your cursor on the nose. It's just that simple. And if you end up hitting behind, you just push that sucker forward. It's just that simple. Doesn't have to be difficult. Guard says, well, now I've moved on to Halo Wars 2. I can't stand getting another open map on War Thunder because I suck at shooting past 600 meters. While half the enemy team can shoot across the map. Yeah. Or if you end up getting some actual bomber pilots that actually know what they're doing, and they actually fly up, do that lazy circle all the way up until they hit the absolute limit, come in at well over 4,000. And so a lot of people, they just can't. And all the bomber pilots have to do is basically rock the plane back and forth, and then they're not hit. The rounds will impact all around them. They won't actually get nailed. And then they just line up, call down. Yeah, this is Angel Flight 20, looking for target acquisition, over. And yeah, there was an actual group went in there and they had absolutely perfect formation. They did the whole bomber to or pilot to bomber, prepare for drop and all this. Bomb bay doors open, and they went and they would just wreck house, and they all got banned. It's which I think is bullshit, but whatever. Demon saying, at first I was confused by your ship shooting a shotgun with a scatter before I realized what was happening. Yeah, it's all the turrets firing. Oh yeah, Guard says, oh, it's not miles, it's meters. You're good. Everybody got it. And yeah, I put meters in there. Let's see. Demon says, you know what's weird? Instead of leaving for work at the end of the stream, I have to go to bed when it's over because of my new job has me training on the day shift. Hey, at least you're sleeping nights. It's weird sleeping at night. Trust me, as for somebody who used to have to stay up all night all the time, you'll shift. It takes about a week. There's only one way I know of to actually fight that, and it's the same way you fight jet lag. Is say you finish your shift at 3 in the morning, or say you're working nights at 6 in the morning, and then you're like, well, now I'm supposed to sleep all day, but now I have to be awake all day. You simply, instead of going to sleep at 6 when you get off, you just stay awake until it's time to actually go to sleep at like 8 at night, maybe 9, and you're forcing a reset. for that whole day, you're going to feel like shit. And by the way, at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon or at night, whichever way you're swinging this, you are going to be unbelievably tired. Get up and walk around. It works. It works. It works. I've done it several times. You feel a little funky for a day and you're perfectly fine. Lena says the WOW signal is probably going to send the 3-Eye Atlas. The WOW signal is probably got sent from the 3-Eye Atlas. When people receive the signal, the source is coming towards us at the speed of 10 kilometers a second. That's pretty fast. And that's now 3-Eye Atlas just made the local news here. Just made the local news. And for those of you who don't know the timeline is currently at Halloween. That's when it's supposed to be here. Now, is it going to be exactly on All Hallows Eve? I don't know. Is it going to be on All Souls Day? I don't know. When it gets here, it gets here. I just wonder if it's going to land. It's going to release all the demons. You know, who knows? If it is, I'll consecrate some shotgun rounds. And all the rest of my, was it cordless hole punchers we got to say now? All those I didn't lose in a tragic boating accident in the middle of the ocean. Yeah, the 3-Eye Atlas, it still makes me wonder what the hell's going to happen with that one. Let's see. Chris says, autocorrect is killing me. They keep calling Aaron Aaron, like Kyle and Pearl. And I have a lot more written. I just have to type it. Yeah, I'm trying not to give them spoilers, man, because most likely tomorrow is when I'm going to record it and post it. The first, you sent me 2, and yes, I am going to split them. So you got basically the first one's going to be a teaser, and then the other one's going to be the other one that. I'm sorry, I keep thinking about a certain point, and I'm just like, dude, I don't know how you came up with that. But that shit's funny. And I guarantee I'm going to stumble through the entire thing. Okay. Demon says, part 2 of Drone Fleet will go one of 2 ways. One of 2. Depending on if Sin decides to tie in the AI story or not. Well, I'll give it another look-see. Did you know that the Earth has 8 crazy moons? Oh, quasi-moons. Yep. The dark satellite's one of them. For those who don't know, it's basically rogue space space rocks that are just orbiting the planet. They're not quite locked in geosync, but they're still out there. And some people have speculated that it's what's left of a ship or something like that. They're just kind of there. Let's see. Guardian says, and the horse used to be roughly equal in value to a gun. That's true. Well, when it came to your rifle, yeah. That's one of the things. You didn't steal somebody's weapon and you didn't steal someone's horse. Both of those were hangable offenses. Now, it took a very short time before stealing a weapon was not a hangable offense, because most people, if they stole the weapon, they were tracked down anyway. If they stole a horse, they can be gone in the middle of nowhere before you even had a chance to tack up your own. So, Steve says, guess I should put it like this. Do you get that $50 I sent, or does YouTube get it? YouTube takes 30%. And it is what it is. If you want to get around YouTube, if you go down that way, there's a actual physical address. Lena's up here saying, I like the M14. I like the M14 too. A lot of people say they can't handle the recoil. I can handle the recoil just fine. I am one of only 2 people in my entire battalion that when I was in 25th who could actually fire, brigade, who could actually fire the 240 medium machine gun off our shoulder accurately. I know this because we actually had a shooting competition. And we were out there with the machine guns, and they said, who here thinks they can fire this off the shoulder? And I raised my hand, and some guy way in the back said, yeah, I can too. And we both lined up. And the only reason I won is because I hit the 800-meter target. And he had no idea how in the hell I did it. I aimed at the very top of the berm where the targets come up. So as I went back, it literally walked up the target. And since there's two targets that pop up, I only had to hit one of them, and they both go down. So I won, but I didn't get any accolades. Didn't even get a day off. I said, all I got was, okay, nice. Now go clean that thing. I'm like, thanks a lot, you jerk. I would have liked to have had the M14 while I was deployed, but unfortunately, they gave it to one guy who I swore was going to get me killed. And that same guy, if you listen to rumors, is no longer around because he was a go to war, go to jail guy. And when he got back, he decided to go back into his old stuff, and he's done. Okay, Chris says, first time I met a camel spider, I heard hissing, and then it reared up and charged. I heroically screamed like a little girl and mag dumped. Yeah, they told us that we had to go inside these bunkers that they dug into the ground. We looked in, we're like, oh no, I'll face bullets before I go into that shit. What are you talking about? It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. You go in first. It was literally just webs everywhere, and the whole place was crawling. And I was just like, no, absolutely not. And eventually we end up taking I don't want to say thermal detonator, but a thermite grenade, and throw it in there, and you actually just see them all scurry away. And so they're like, well, we can't shoot it. We're all standing around here. So we got smart later. The next time we had to do something like that, we actually covered it in not JP8 diesel, but actual gasoline, and lit a match through it and backed the fuck up, because that thing just went up like it just went up like a volcano. Fun to watch, but you don't want to be close when one of those half dead ones is still burning, it's climbing up on you. And for those of you who've never been around camel spiders, they seem like they're attacking you. The kicker is you give off shade, and that's what they're trying to get to. If they get to the shade, they just all of a sudden stop. But the thing is, as soon as you lift your foot, they try to move over to your other foot. So you're literally dancing. And they can cause some very, very bad necrosis. I actually, no joke, this thing's my second tour, and I just feel something like flutter across my face at night. I didn't even think anything of it. I just kind of rolled and went back to sleep. I pull up my assault pack I was using as a pillow, and there's a fucking camel spider underneath. I just flip the whole damn thing over, stomp that son of a bitch right there. I'm like, I feel dirty. Oh, it's just those light little touches. It just, I don't know what it is. It's kind of crazy. Okay. Didn't scream like a little girl, but I was not looking like a badass at any point on that thing. Okay, Steve says, wonder what MTF guard would do with a camel spider chasing him. I'm guessing go full expendables with an AA-12 and just unload an entire 35 round drum of those things. And then as soon as he's done, if people go, satiated yet? Another person would say, damn, that thing is loud. Oh, a huntsman spider? Oh, I think besides needing to change his pants. Yeah, pet guard spider. I'm sorry, but no. See, everybody's saying hi to Brian. Cool. Lena says, you would still get an isekai goddess service with a proper isekai. Actually, it doesn't always have to be a goddess. It could be a god. It could be an angel that's male. It could be an angel that's a female. You know, now they overuse goddess way too much, at least for my taste. You know, like they did, what was that? Campfire Cooking in Another World, I think it's called. A really good show, by the way. I was surprised how well it was put together. But instead of just having the one that brought him in there, Now he's got to deal with 4 of them, and supposedly he's got to play tag with the god of creation or something like. So there's 5 he's got to deal. I'm like, you're overdoing it. And then what's his name there? Shit. The guy who couldn't speak common, he could only speak like demon languages or whatever. The goddess that thought he was too ugly, so she like banished him to the outskirts. I'm just like, what the fuck over? Now you have not only the goddess up there, but you got her assistant that's a little fairy, and then supposedly there's somebody up there she's afraid of. I'm like, yeah, this is getting a little weird. It's overused, is all I'm saying. Lena thinks that's a submarine that you were using to shoot at people. I'm like, yeah, it's above. Well, maybe. Brian says, just keep the aircraft in the air. Yeah, it doesn't happen when you get a freaking HE shell to the nuts. I mean, seriously, it's not just that one time either. He's going up. It's like he wants to take everything out. I mean, it's crazy.
I'm supposed to say he's behind you.
Well, whenever you're spawning on me, so
Yeah.
good game. Me? Nope, I'm getting shot now.
Oh, I just got that shell right in that doorway.
Flying pole. I want to be a pole dancer.
God damn it, dude. I don't think we're gonna do this.
We still have 30, so we can still manage.
Yes,
we did it.
win.
We finally got a win.
Yep, they finally got a win, and he hates planes. And I guarantee those trying to catch the point were sitting there going, what? What the hell's going on? And he's sitting there on the top going, say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Anyways, yeah. Lena says the Alien TV show final was weird. They made them into pets. Okay, I've never seen it. I have no comments on that at all. Let's see. Gert says, man, I don't know what annoys me more. The fact that one of my favorite games growing up Need for Speed Pro Speed keeps crashing on 360, or the fact that there's no Xbox One port for it. What annoys me is I was a bit of a video game addict. Instead of just figuring out how to handle my video game addiction, I gave away a bunch of games to include the original Star Wars Battlefronts 1 and 2, which are so much better than the bullshit we got that for recent that is just crazy. I could spend hours playing the other ones, and the new one just sucks balls. Leonard's up here going, I like dark elves. You like the dark meat, huh? Yeah. Guard continues with, which sucks, but hey, maybe we'll get a remaster for it. How the Saudi Arabia owes eBay for selling it to them for $55 billion. Why not? Guard here continues. Oh yeah, people with anime just know how to make dark elves shine. Almost every other female character in the series, but it's like they're terrified to make them darker than caramel brown, or is it caramel brown? Either way, it makes me want to see what they taste like. Maybe, cook them up real good, a little sauce on there. Of course, I'd have to be sauce just to eat something that shape. Anyways, Guard says, come on, give us accurate dark elf. It's not like half of the world's going to airstrike you for it. Nice touch. Worst neighbor. Oh, yo, Elf Village. I just won't have any visuals to go with it. And this is why I've always said, if you guys know somebody or yourselves that want to do like a comic or a cover or any type of actual drawing or CGI or whatever for these stories, let me know. Send it to me. I will fucking post it myself. If they want to make it into a comic, whatever it is, just don't change the dialogue and go ahead and make it. And I will even promote it here. Okay. I wanted my stuff to be an actual comic. That's how everything started. But things don't always work out that way. It is what it is. Gart saying, you know what? In the next fantasy themed story you make that has elves in it, make the dark elves that color. I did. Well, the thing, it was one of the characters in which story was it? I'm trying to remember. Allow me to introduce you. Was shaped like an elf, and she was pitch black skin with white hair and like yellow eyes, like lizard yellow eyes. And yeah. Although that was science fiction. Okay, Brian says, I sent a picture of the smoked meatloaf wrapped in bacon with jalapenos. I don't remember sent any ship pictures. No, you didn't send any ship pictures. You sent the motorcycles and all that. I got those. Erica says they will airstrike just in the hate mail and inboxes. Yeah. Yeah, I even started up the other channel with the little short videos. Again, it is political shit, so let's keep that away from here. This is for escapism and just enjoying ourselves. Let's keep politics away from here. Brian says, I might have sent a picture of a CV-70, Carl Vincent rendering honors passing BB-39 Arizona. I am not sure if that's one of them. I'd have to look. Lena's up here. Let's hit the ship. Chris says, for missing audio, maybe play Yakety Sax, Benny Hill song. Unfortunately, when I play these, I can't do anything else. It literally just shuts me off. Whatever you guys hear or see is just there. Again, I'm going to have to cut them off, kind of like this one. I do find it interesting how somebody came around that corner and immediately they shot somebody right in the aft. Yes, it went straight up the aft. He unloaded some right into the aft. And he made them scream because I'm sure it was painful as he plugged them right in the aft section of their ship. And yeah. That's hopefully that went over well. All right. But yeah, there's nothing I can do about the volume tonight. I'm going to have to adjust them later. Okay. Demon says, I have not had dinner yet. Oh my God, I want that. Yeah, Dinner's good. I had dinner earlier, and I actually had to stop myself at one helping because you can't help it, or you guys can't see it, but yeah, this arrow's kind of. Never mind. Okay, Guard says, pretty much waiting for my food right now. No, number the T-92 is actually a light tank, and it sucks because it's equipped with a form of hyper shot. Okay, that only supposed to pierce the armor. There's no sprawl or explosives. Okay, well, armor piercing shell. I can understand that. I never liked working with armor piercing shells, mainly because they're made of depleted uranium. It may be depleted, but that shit's still radioactive. I hated working with that shit. I seriously hated it. Demon said, the missing audio is me and my friends talking, which makes it better. Yeah, that's again, I can't, without actually turning this thing off, I can't turn the volume up on that any higher. It is what it is. Lena says, oh, Zeus, I am the thunder god. Poseidon, I want to be god of oceans. Hades, I want a wife. Poseidon, okay. I want horses. Is that beer for your horses? Why not? Yeah, Benny Hill music can make a lot of things better. The major problem, though, if I had it, I wouldn't be able to play it for more than about 2.5 seconds. That's YouTube's rules. If I play it for more than 3 seconds, even by the slightest margin, then they're going to come at me and say, okay, that's copyrighted music. That means I have to pay them for that. Even if I remove it, it doesn't matter. I have to pay them. Demon says, Shock, pronounced shock, basically is a Mayan god. Okay. Guard says, and you're only stuck with that hyper. Okay, he's still talking about his thing. You're only talking. Excuse me. You're only stuck with that hyper shot shell. You don't get an APHE, armor piercing high explosive, or heat round, high explosive anti-tank round. None of that. Just straight up hyper shot with no explosive filler, and that's it. Now, if you're trying to snipe from a long way off, the faster the shell, usually the straighter it flies. So there's a give and take on that one, and trying to get in close like that was kind of dumb. Yes, I am preparing a clip marathon. You know what? I'm going to write that down. Clip marathon. I'm going to write this. Okay, War Sniper, Sin, did you still need to download the other clips in that mail I sent you because you could not access them? All right. Out of the, I believe it was 11 clips that you sent, I actually have the numbers written down somewhere. Not on the back of that. All right. There were, the only clips I could get was basically the first 5. The one that had a funky name, like almost like Mardi Gras up there. And I looked at the numbers, the 0-15, 1-02, 1-07, and the 0.18 are all ones I was able to download. The rest didn't take. So if you don't see them tonight, if I remember, I'll either send you an email, or you can either send them, 2 or 3 at a time. For some reason, the first 5 I could download and the other ones I couldn't get. I have no idea why that didn't happen. It is what it is. I'm glad you brought that up because I had totally brain farted on that. But you are correct, War Sniper. I totally spaced. Lena says, I remember the best Batman joke. What if there was a villain named Batman? Guy with a baseball bat. And then Batman was like, you can't do that because I'm Batman. Didn't anyone tell you I'm Batman? Okay. War Sniper says, Need to sit down and wait for 30 minutes because the now he needs. Okay, yeah. Fair warning, man. If you haven't used antibiotics before, you are going to get a little messed up in the stomach, even if you're just putting the stuff on your skin. It will. How do I put this? Your intestinal biome, or digestive biome, is just saturated with bacteria you need. So as soon as you're done with whatever antibiotics they give you, either you take antibiotics or you go and get some like Greek yogurt or something. It's frozen yogurt, preferably. And that'll help put the good stuff back in your system. Yeah, it's didn't anyone tell you I'm Batman? No, I'm the new guy. Yeah. Let's see. Guard says, remember in the first Injustice game where they would have a little thing set up where two characters fighting would have a charge towards each other, and whoever mashed the button quick enough would land a blow that would end the match. I never played those games, so I don't know. It says probably one of the funniest ones was where you had two Jokers and they struck at the same time, and it would just create an explosion so powerful it destroyed the Injustice dimension. That's interesting. And I bet he was laughing the whole time. Guard says the best part was that there was no dimension-destroying weapons being used. It was just two crowbars smacking against each other. Clang, clang. Yeah, that is weird. I don't know who thought that up, but I don't know if they're evil, a genius, or an evil genius. Lena says, there's probably lots of spiders that live in my house. I'm fine. Most everybody swallows spiders and don't even know it. So, yeah, fun to think about. A little gross. Guardian says, oh, he's talking to Leonid. You forgot that it could be a three-way, as you could have a man-bat, which someone could mistake as Batman. Is it man-bat or Batman-bat or man-Batman? Okay, my brain hurts. I'm going to leave that one alone. Erica says, I will run at spiders, but there's only one thing that makes me experience all three responses at once, and I'm not telling no one. Good idea. Chris saying, Moonlit Fantasy. Yes, that was the one where the guy was apparently too ugly, and the goddess just chucked him away. Just, it was amazing. Campfire Cooking is about to have a season 2. Yeah, I saw the preview for it, and I just hope I have the time to watch it. It took no joke. It was almost. I watched the very first episode when it came out, and it took me another like 2 months before I finally got a chance to watch the rest. Or I should say, 2 months after it finished, before I finally finished watching the whole thing, because it was just. Again, I run out of time. Lena says, I'm waiting for my isekai adaptation with a proper, realistic medieval sanitation without shampoo, conditioner, or other modern luxuries. Yes, for the love of God, yes. Now, I will say this. It was Farming Life in Another World, I think it was. And the guy... He's literally, well, he dies an old man, and he's given a chance because he spent his life helping people. So they're like, hey, we'll give you a new body, and we'll give you this magic spear that can transform into anything, and it's unbelievably powerful. It can take down dragons with a simple toss. And but they do go through that. As the guy for a long time, so he gets, he has to basically be in survival mode, and he's eating like the most basic of food, and he's just literally shitting in a hole, and it's even when they get the bathhouse, he doesn't actually scrub himself with soap. Even if they do, it's not actual like real honest to God soap like we have. And even Campfire Cooking, that they actually go over that, where he actually has to get modern soap because the stuff he gets, he's like, this stuff sucks. Okay, Chris also says, I believe 12 October is release date for One Punch Man Season 3. And I never really got too much into One Punch Man. That's just me. Maybe because when it came out, it originally came out when I was in college. God, that was a long fucking time ago. And I don't know. I never actually watched it back then. And I think you gotta start it when it first comes out because it catches the vibe of everything. I don't know. If the guy just literally has to fart or flick or punch or whatever he's doing and it just ends the battle, kind of takes the fun out of it. But then the whole dopey situation, they played it off really well. The little bit I have seen. Guardian says, I remember when you could get a Subway footlong for $5. They weren't actually a foot long, but yes. Now they cost almost double. They cost more than double. For a half sub, not even a full meal, a half sub will cost you $5. It's like $12 for a full sandwich around here. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, Chris, the bread is plastic. That's one of the reasons I don't go there anymore, because once I start eating real bread for a while and I bit into theirs, I said, something tastes wrong. If I do end up there, I'll just get a wrap or something. But I don't even trust that. Eric is saying, hey, could you do a creepy pasta for October? Yes. I could do a couple of those. I mean, this channel originally started out as a creepy pasta, horror, suspense, gore type channel. And I just kind of expanded it out to different stuff. Fantasy, sci-fi, I just want to see what worked, and sci-fi worked the best. So I focused primarily on that. But yes, I can do creepy pastas. That's not a problem at all. Chris saying more of the files would be awesome. Okay, I can do the files. Okay, let me write these down so I don't forget. Creepy pasta. The files. The thing is, the files didn't really catch all that much.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Something is right, because the Guardian Sage decided to grace us here, well, at least me, with a $10 super chat. And that hurt. I got to remember not to do that again. Saw an announcement that they were making Gate Season 2. I will not be watching that. I'm sorry. That was I look at that the same way a lot of other countries' militaries look at our war movies, and they just roll their eyes like, dude, could you suck your country's cock any harder? I mean, just seriously. And I mean, not only did they rip off a bunch of our own movies, they ripped off Rambo. They ripped off, what was the other one? I'm trying to remember. It was a Vietnam movie. So why you guys always sit on your helmet so we don't get our balls blown off? It's just, it just irritates me so much that they steal so much from American television and American movies, and yet they literally insult every other military that's there. Apocalypse Now, thank you. That was another big one. I mean, they literally copy and pasted it. I mean, I've done that a couple times. I can't say too much. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Smells like victory. Yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry. I just can't. I just can't do that, because the whole idea of fuck up to go up, and no. You go through special forces training and you're a total slacker like that, you might not survive the training. Your own buddies might say, oh, he had an accident out there. And that's for all of those. He wouldn't be a ranger. He wouldn't be special forces. How the fuck he got to the point of officer, they won't say, but in that culture, usually you have to be connected somehow. Like your family has to be rich. So yeah, I'm sorry, no. I mean, they're using almost exclusively American and European technology. They're using M14s for Christ's sake. I mean, yeah, that part I will say worked out good because they showed in the very first episode that the standard 5.56 was not punching through the armor. So they had to jump it up to a 7.62. Okay, I got no problems with that, but that's one good point, and if you're not watching, you'd miss it. All right, let me jump up here a little bit. There's the files thing. Okay. Alan says, F Ship Shop, bring a new idea for Screwed. Hey, how many times have I said jump in behind their formation and plug one in the ass? Just I make it, hit them so hard it comes out the mouth, or comes out the bow. Let's see. Demon says, I have 2 emails that I've been testing, sending them to myself, trying to fix the audio so it's not you. Oh, thank God. Usually women tell me it's always me. Or it's not you, it's me. No, they'll tell me it's me. Okay, Lena says, I do paint my starships in gray color, if that helps. So they could be invisible against the darkness of space. Yeah, I could see that. Well, if you're trying to use visuals. I actually laughed one of the stories that I heard before I even started this channel. They're like, oh yeah, you'll never be able to pick up our stealth ship. They go, it's right there. How can you tell? Look out the window. It's not on the scanners. Look out the window. It's bright orange. Oh, well, just disregard that one. It's just a force on force testing. Guard says the airstrike joke was unintentional. We're good. Ancient Travelers here. Hey, how you doing? Just coming in here with your walking stick. Hey, how you doing, guys? See, Lena says, I finished watching season 2 of Penty and Stocking, and it was awesome. The triple episode finale of Heaven Wars. I still haven't seen any of those except for a couple little blips, and the little 30-second clips I see look funny as shit. I mean, it's just crazy. Excuse me, guys. Damn. I don't want to suck on another soda here, but I just might. Brian says, one of my babies just flew over my house, preparing to land. Yeah, we actually had a lot of traffic over this way, too. A lot of things coming in low, like heavy stuff coming in low, too. You can tell by how the engines are. A lot of times they'll be cranking the engines up, but they'll have the flaps all the way out, just to make sure they can come in at a very, very low speed because they're so heavy that the brakes won't stop them. Worst number says, Sin, send me a mail back with it. Then I will send the latest clips and you could not access. Okay, I'll let you know. Let's see. Worst number says, he continues with, in sets of 2, so you get them, I know for sure. I got a lot of War Thunder was. Yeah, I saw that. And I was kind of pissed off that they didn't work. I don't know how to fix that, guys. If it doesn't work, I'm not a computer geek. I don't know how to work that. Steve here, he says, that's really only necessary when the antibiotics are very strong, such as sulfacetamide or stronger. Sulfa drugs were used a lot in World War II, and then they found out you're not supposed to use those at such a high rate. But yeah, that's true. I had a internal issue, and they gave me some really strong antibiotics. I didn't shit for 2 weeks, and then I got off of that. I took a whole bunch of probiotics and a whole bunch of Greek yogurt and frozen yogurt and anything else to get in there, and it was worse than an MRE plug, I'll tell you. Worst name says, but you can show the ones you can use on the stream so I can flash them out on my side. And I might just run a few of them really quick. Let's see. Joseph's here. Hey, Joe, how you doing? And Guard's up there saying, the 60s Batman was freaking wild with some of its jokes. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Joker, I dare you to come after me. Oh, I dare you to come after me, Batman, because if you do, I'll pound you into paste. Slams the phone down while Batman casually stands there in the corner of the room holding the other phone. He's always right there like, really? Let's see. Demon says Eminescence of Shadow and One Punch Man are both gag animes that mock the animes of their genre. Well, they kind of make the thing. What I don't like about Eminescence of Shadow is that they try to play it straight. If it's supposed to be a satire, let it be a satire. You know, it's not going to go into, how do I put this? It's not going to be at Starship Troopers level, which was meant to be a satire, but it's so many people play it straight and other people play it goofy, and it just kind of works. It's a cult classic. Eminescence is not going to do that. One Punch Man might, because they really satire it up. And, I've seen a couple bits of it, and it looks kind of funny. I just never got into it. What did you miss? Well, we've been going for almost 2 hours, so yeah. War Sniper says, I enjoyed the files a lot. Okay, well, I'll probably do the files. Although I don't think the character is going to be banging any witch girls anytime soon. Let's see. Guard with, I'm actually reading the manga for that right now. It's pretty good. Dude is holding back almost the entire time. He kind of realized he could end a continent if he doesn't hold back. Yeah, with One Punch Man, that's true. I mean, at one point, I think they were about to have him do a One Punch Man versus Hulk. And that they were going to do that on Death Battle, but then they realized if you had full power Hulk and One Punch Man punch each other, you would actually not just crack a planet, you would crack reality with that much backlash of force. It's literally two unstoppable force running into each other. Demon says, I understand where you're coming from with Gate. But I do actually appreciate the fun facts, or the fat guns and stuff are not useless against a fantasy world. In fact, they dominate like they should. Well, that part, yes. You know, you're in an entrenched position in a machine gun nest, and they're trying to run cavalry at you. Didn't work in World War I, and it sure as fuck ain't gonna work now. Those Vickers machine guns were good, or excellent for their time, but they honestly suck by today's standards. And now you have full-on M250 caliber machine guns sitting there going right in your fucking face. You're not going to get very far. I've seen what those things do to the human body. It's a little gross. Let's see. Guard says, I freaking despise of the trope where you can have a freaking A-10 Warthog strafe a creature for like 15 whole seconds, and all it does is just piss it off. Yeah, I really don't. You guys know I use the A-10 a lot. Or, well, not a lot, but enough. And let's face it, when that thing fires, I know what those shells can do. I've seen what those shells can do a little bit closer than I wanted to see what those shells could do. And, you know, I get up to the area and you realize, they're like, hey, how about you dig one of those shells out of the ground? I'm not going down 15, 20 feet. Oh, but it'd be nice souvenir. First off, no. Secondly, hell no. I know what the thing's made out of. But it's just like in Gate where they had to constantly drop artillery on the dragon just to kill. I'm like, I'm sorry, but no. One of those Maverick missiles would have been enough to take out the large dragon without a problem. A fucking shoulder-fired rocket blew the front arm off. You're telling me something with at least 20 to 50% more oomph isn't going to take down that fucking dragon in one shot? Bullshit. Ugh. So yeah, you're right. It's annoying where they have to bring in all this firepower for something that honestly could be downed in one hit. And I'm sorry, the artillery shots that took out the little baby dragons as they're moving. No. I'm sorry, no. I in that point I can see the satire portion. All right, Chris says, burning people smell like bacon cooking. Bad memories about being hungry and not knowing the smell yet, followed not being able to eat bacon for a while. Yeah, I actually know somebody who he can't actually have a BLT unless that bacon has been cooked somewhere else. He starts freaking out. He's like, I don't have an appetite anymore. Keep it away from me. He can eat bacon, he just can't smell it. Lena says, soldier, what will 500 years get you? Almost fully paid of suit and 2 times power armor. I have no idea where that's from, but it sounds like something from a game. Oh, 500, yeah. Eric here. Good evening. Oh, hold on. Let me do this right.
Good evening, sinners.
Let's see. Guard says, like I can remember the name of anime, but with the one that have the advanced exosuit point blank firing a railgun into one of these things and doing nothing. I have no idea which anime you're talking about. All right. I need to wet my whistle, so I'm going to throw on... What am I going to throw on? Did I miss any of these? I hope I didn't miss any. Let's try this one.
Torpedoes starboard. Torpedoes starboard. Brace for impact. Good job.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know which one it was where you actually dodged the torpedo. Maybe it says...
Brace for impact. Torpedo to port. Brace for impact.
Yeah, that was the one where you thread the needle. Okay, for everybody who is late, I'd like to let you know that a certain person has some very good news. He is now a grandfather, and that is Doug. And picture on the screen now of his new grandchild. So make sure you guys send him a congratulatory message there. And let me just scroll down because this thing freaking just went crazy. Sorry. All right. Okay, there's where I was. All right. Here we go. Guard also continues, but then there was one of the side characters shows up with a freaking glaive and ends up bisecting it instantly. Yeah, well, the thing is, a lot of the animes want to say that the sword is mightier than the gun. It's just been their whole shtick for a while. I'm sorry, but no. Just no. There's a reason modern militaries use firearms and not swords. Lena says, I do love that dog named Chuck from Pantheon Stocking. Don't have any idea. I'm sorry. Like I said, I haven't seen it, so I can't say nothing else on that. Eric is saying, the files are coming back? Yeah, I can bring the files back. They don't really get a lot of traction, but I'll bring them back for the month of October. Guard says, hold on. Nope, shit. Sorry, I jumped one here. Says, so I just figured out why I keep getting servers that intentionally nobody in them in Battlefield 1. It's because the main game was on my external hard drive, but all the DLCs were on the internal hard drive, which completely screws up the game's matchmaking and server connections. And no, it was not a different anime from like the mid 2010s. Okay. Erica says, dear women, and not deer. I already did a deer chick one. or a deer female, or it was one of my earlier ones, very early, and it was a hunting trip type of thing, or setting up for one, and yeah, I would need another screen to go through to actually find it. But yes, I've actually done one of those, and I don't plan on doing another one. I could, I might, I don't know. Okay, Guard says, at least in Kaiju number 8, normal soldiers can kill the Kaijus. You just got to hit them in specific spots, like under the elbows, the stomach, and all the stuff that, usually kill spots. And we got Erica. She wants a jackalope story. Okay, I'm going to kind of date myself on this, and I got to adjust my voice for it. But back in the day, there used to be a show called America's Funniest People where they used to have the jackalope show. It was only on like maybe once a month, but he always had this phrase, fast as fast can be, you'll never catch me. Although, now that I have a soundboard, I can say,
fast as fast can be, you'll never catch me.
I think Dave Coulier did the voice on that. Okay, Warsniper says, I'm sure of it, Sin. He has a small succubus to worry about in the files. Yeah, he kind of had one on call. It was, how do I put this? She was not like always there, but whenever he wanted to, he could get her. It was, how do I put this? He used the pillar of salt. I don't want to say too much, because if anybody hasn't listened to the files yet, I don't want to say too much. But yeah, it's there. Even though she's not full blown, she's only this tall. Steve sitting there going, puny god. Lena says, well, the anime wanted to make the main character an otaku. Okay, we're talking Gate here. His social life is over in that anime. Yeah. Not really. The guy is still like prized for everything. It's just kind of, I don't know. It just didn't suit me. Don't let me stop you from enjoying it. Please, for the love of God, enjoy the show. If you like it, enjoy it for all it is. It's not me. Let's see. Demon says, if it's such a nice souvenir, then you dig it. Then you dig it out. Yeah. I'm not digging out a depleted uranium slug with just an E-tool, and where I have to dig like 6 feet to 15 feet down just to find it. If I find it all. If it's sprawled, it could be in pieces. Garth says, should we call it a night? It's like 8:30 where I'm at, and usually cutoff time. And looks like a few people want to, other people not so much. We still got a few people on, so I'm gonna keep going. I'm getting really close down to the bottom here, so once I do, we're gonna call it. But Lena says it's from Fallout 2. Soldier, where's your power armor? They actually did a joke on that on the new Duke Nukem games. Like, here's your power armor, sir. Power armor is for pussies. And it looks like straight out of Halo. The guy's sitting there like, okay, as he's standing there actually wearing power armor. Let's see. Guard says, if I remember correctly, in Fallout New Vegas, there's actually a reference to the guy from Fallout 2 that chews your ass out for not having your power armor on. Why not? Lena says, the anime can use guns realistically. Oh, yeah. It's called Gun Fu. Lots of dead characters. Swords show is skilled warrior. Yeah. Although the 5 foot nothing girl beating up a guy who's 6'4", I'm sorry, but no, I don't care how unskilled and how much of a schmuck he is. That character can't weigh 90 pounds soaking wet. She's not beating anybody up. Now, if she walked up and immediately kicked him in the nuts and he went down and she reared up and friggin' soccer kicked him in the fucking face and then start wailing on him, I'd believe that. See, Guard says something I still find funny. Ha! With Gay is how, yes, the main character is divorced, but him and his ex-wife still live together because they still care about each other and love each other. I never understood that part. He's still supporting her even though they're divorced. What the fuck, dude? I just whatever. Different culture thing. I don't want to get too much into that. Unfortunately, I've been actually in the courtroom during divorce proceedings, and it's not fun. Not that I was divorced. We were there to make sure somebody didn't, lose his shit. Chris saying, the Jackalope. Yes, Joey's best character. It's crazy to think that he was who Alanis Morissette was singing about in all her good songs. I didn't know that. Guard says also how everybody was generally shocked at how he was married and divorced, but still on good terms with her. I mean, you can still be on good terms with your ex. It's just very rare. So I can understand why everybody would be shocked because of the rarity. Erica says the Jackalope and the Thunderbird are my favorite cryptids. I just saw a Thunderbird the other day. It was driving down the street. And I thought the bandit was going by. Steve says, I like SCP-682, the hard-to-kill reptile. Hard to kill, not impossible. Leon says, it doesn't matter to me. Guns are cool in anime, and so is Kitana. Are we talking the sword, or are we talking the hot chick there? Oh, by the way, with the SCP-682, somebody I still remember somebody asked me to write something about the SCP Foundation, and I thought it'd be kind of funny to make a joke out of it, kind of like a satire. Like, hey, go in there and put this microphone next to 682 and see if you can get him to talk. Yeah, but I need a couple items. To have him, everybody like, what? What items? He walks in there, puts the microphone down. It's like, so, Sammy, you like Sammy? You look like a Sam. I'm going to call you Sam. Then he pops the top on whiskey. He's like, pours himself a drink. He's like, you want it in the glass? Or you want it down the gullet? Because we're going to sit here and drink for a while. You good? And you can picture him, pouring himself a shot and then pouring some in the lizard's mouth as it friggin' slugs it back. And they're just kind of like getting sloshed. Like, how did you think about that? I'm like, just have him sitting in acid, man. At least give him a drink. So, anyways, Demon says, my favorite cryptid is the Nightman from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. No, Nightman. Guard says, sadly, Sin, SCP-682 is virtually indestructible because he can just evolve to anything. Yeah, true. That's why you don't try to kill him. You try to be his friend. And I did a whole, I had it written down somewhere, and I have no idea where in the hell what I did with it. And there was actually, Steve, they did nuke him once, and somehow they found it kind of sitting there in the ashes going, okay, that hurt. And Guardian saying good night to Alan. But yeah, the whole idea was there was a huge, well, at least when I did mine, there was a huge breakout, and several of the different SCPs that were actually not specifically dangerous to the general public, this guy tries to get out, and he actually, because he became friends with 682, that I don't remember the name he called him, is like Sam or Luke, or it's just something real simple. And he's like, he meets him on the way out. He's like, hey, we're running. You mind covering us? And he just kind of growls like, yep, and just takes off running and starts raising all sorts of hell. Let's see. Gart says they one time put him against SCP-001, the Gate Guardian, aka the Archangel Michael, and 682 after being struck several times by it evolved to counter him, at least until God stopped him. Yeah, true. I used to read those. I don't really anymore. And Demon says, did they throw him into the sun? Praise to the sun. Well, they wouldn't actually throw him to the sun because in the SCP universe, there's actually an entity that hangs out directly between us and the sun. And she helps us out. She's completely benevolent. You wouldn't want to throw a murder lizard into her face. That's just rude. Which, by the way, my character actually does do the whole thing like, hey, can I talk to her for a second? It's like, and he literally goes, thank you, beautiful lady, for protecting us. We appreciate that very much. And he just hands it over, and she actually like, oh, cool. See. But he's not trying to be the hero. He's not trying to be the main character. He's just trying to be. Let's see. Guard says that was SCP-096, and he came back. They fixed 096. They had the plague doctor go into his brain and take out all the I want to kill everybody, and then he just friggin' died and dissolved pretty much. And that was because some dumbass looked in the picture of him and he was told to burn all pictures and photographs. Yeah. Did they create Metal Gear yet? No. She can move, she won't. That entity won't. And by the way, she speaks French, and they're not going to move when you ask them to. Anyway, looks like we actually did get down all the way. So I'm going to I know there's a few folks that got here. So I'm just going to say, make sure that you are still subscribed and like and all this other fun crap that YouTube wants us to do. I'll do that dance. And I think I played all the videos for tonight that was sent over the week. So I'm just going to end with the first one that we had and see if anything else pops up. All right. Yeah, Leonid, I have seen that there are a lot of foreign videos with very, very bad dubbed AI. We'll see. Yeah, AI is not going to take it, dude. Demon, it's not going to take a few years, less than a year, and you're going to be getting movies that are indistinguishable. And unfortunately, most of those are going to go straight onto the hub.
Swing!
And you know how that's going to be. So, on that, I do appreciate everybody showing up. I know a few folks actually showed up kind of late for the stream, and you're like, what the hell, man? I just got here. But that's how it goes. Usually we go for about 2 hours. We actually went a little longer tonight, and we're just going to have to go on that. Like I said, usually when I get to the bottom of the chats, we just see one more video, and we're pretty much done. We're going to end with a safety brief, just like we do every week. If you drink, you don't drive. If you drive, you don't drink. If your buddy wants to drink and drive, beat his fucking ass. It's better to explain to the cops why you busted your buddy's nose than have to explain to the cops why you need to go and identify the body after he wraps his car around a tree or a telephone pole or into a ditch or anything like that. Ain't worth it. All right. If your little soldier's going to go into that bush, make sure he wears his poncho, because if you're doing anything right, it's wet inside the bush. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. All right. If you're going to be doing anything stronger than the liqueur, guys, seriously, I don't recommend it. And if you're not sharing with me, don't do it. I mean, that's just rude. All right. See, anything else? Yes. Being that it's fall, The roads are covered in leaves. The leaves are going to make things a little slick, and there's a lot of critters around. Hunting season has already started. So if you're going out into the sticks in any way, shape, or form, just be aware these hunters are going to spook up a lot of the wildlife, and a lot of the wildlife is going to be shooting across the road. So not only do you need to make sure that you keep your animals inside so they don't get all screwed up from the huntings that's going on, because they'll chase anything into the night, but also you don't need a deer through your front windshield. Not fun. And aside from that, that's going to be it. Again, thank you so much tonight. You guys have been unbelievably generous tonight. We got Guardian, Brian, Chris, Steve, Demon, Erica, Douglas, and Guard. And you guys have been fucking awesome. And I'm just going to put it back up. You guys are freaking awesome. And that's going to be it for tonight. Take care, and we will see you here next time on Syntext Live. Take care, everybody.